Earth Week continues here on AM Extra and elsewhere, not just here on AM Extra, but
Yeah,
we're
but
celebrating
we really like
here.
it here.
We really do. A vital water resource in Portland is getting some help from a big name in Portland's beer scene.
The Columbia Slough is located on the north end of the city, and Level Beer, which is located near the slough, is brewing up some support for their conservation efforts. Joining us this morning to tell us all about their Earth Day Oregon partnership is Heather King with the Columbia Slough Watershed Council and Jason Barbie, founder and owner of Level Beer. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you guys for being here. So let's first just kind of talk, Heather, about the mission of the Columbia Slough Watershed Council.
Well, the Columbia Slough Watershed Council works to advocate, educate, and preserve the Columbia Slough Watershed, which is, as you said, in North Portland. And we do that through environmental education, through advocacy, through community events, and then also through stewardship.
I think a lot of folks might not know if they haven't been out to that part of North Portland. There's this beautiful natural refuge, like right there in the city. I've been out there and seen it's really popular for bird watchers. But how important, ecologically, is this area to Portland?
Well, it's one of just a couple of watersheds that make up the Portland metro area. And if you were to ask somebody about the Columbia Slough, if you ask people who come to our events, they're going to tell you it's a hidden gem in Portland, right? Because there's a ton of natural areas. You can go canoeing and kayaking, paddleboarding. But it is also the most industrialized watershed actually in the state of Oregon. So it's really vital that we are here as an organization to make sure that we maintain the health of the watershed, because it's not just industry. There's a lot of residents that live there too. And so we need to make sure that that's really balanced, and that's one of the many things that we do.
Well, and I would say a hidden gem, but I don't think Level Beer is too hidden anymore in the brewery scene, but definitely still a gem. Jason, what made you want to get involved with this cause?
So our property actually goes up onto or borders the slough. So when we were approached, we thought it would be a really fun thing for us to get involved with. And I guess when we first opened up out there, we were kind of trying to have the space be something of a community gathering space. So, being able to have them offer science classes and things there is pretty cool.
That's really cool. People don't always think about, as they're enjoying a can of beer, some of the environmental thought that has to go into that. You need the ingredients to be grown. You need clean water to be able to brew your product. I mean, how important is it for you as a company to have an environmental focus in what you do?
I mean, we really try to be do the best that we can in terms of sourcing our ingredients in a responsible way. The hops that we used for their beer and all the hops that we use are certified salmon safe. We used a special Idaho malt in their beer that it's a new experimental malting process that uses 30% less water.
Oh, very cool.
Just little things like that we can do to kind of help chip away and do our part.
And by their beer, you mean a cool partnership that you did? So tell us about tell us about this special brew.
Yeah, so we made a beer called the Slough Slayer. It'll be on tap at all 3 of our locations starting on Wednesday, and then for Earth Day or until it's gone, obviously, and then we're going to donate all the proceeds from that to them. Yeah,
that's phenomenal. We were just showing a couple other beers you have on tap as well. I mean, you can raise a glass at any time to help support.
Yeah.
So which ones do you have here?
So we've got, I just brought a couple of fun ones. So we kind of go with a real retro 80s vibe. Or more like, I guess, our kind of childhood. So we've got Fatality, our Mortal Kombat reference for our Imperial Stout, Pixelated Pale Ale. Licensed to Yield is, kind of a Beastie Boys shout out. And actually the name of our company is Licensed to Yield, then we are DBA as Level Beer.
Oh my God.
Really? I didn't know that.
I love that.
That's great.
I read that, Liz. I saw that label. I read it in my mind, Fatality.
Yeah, exactly.
So Heather, to have the support from a local business that, is directly impacted by the slough as well, what does that mean to your organization?
It actually means a lot. We are a watershed council, so we have a lot of government funding, but because we provide the community with over 200 free community programs a year between stewardship and community events, we need the support of other organizations and individuals. And so Level Beer, he's being really nice. They were a part of what we call our Healthy Industrial Lands Initiative. And our stewardship director works with businesses whose property abuts the slough, and then we go in for free and restore the riparian zones with native planting. So we'll remove invasives, and that's how we met Level Beer. And then this partnership bloomed. And so they are a fiscal sponsor, and they give us space once a month to host our Slough Science events. There's actually one tomorrow night at the brewery. And then we approached them about doing this beer, and they were like, sure, why not? And so they're making a beer, and you can go on Saturday on Earth Day, and or before if you want, and have a Slough Slayer and support our organization. And then also just it's Earth Week, right? So we've got a ton of events. We've got Slough Science tomorrow night. We've got 2 events on Saturday. We're doing a webinar with the drainage district next week. But we have free community events almost every single week of the year.
That's fantastic.
That's really neat. I do have to ask before we let you go, who came up with the name Slough Slayer? Was that you? Was that you?
It was my team gave a whole bunch of different names, and what I found out, which I didn't know because I've only been in the job for a little over a year, is that our truck, which is an ancient F-150, is called the Slough Slayer.
Oh, nice.
So,
That's perfect.
It all came together.
Yeah,
I
it
love
did,
that.
definitely.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Jason, Heather, thank you so much for joining us. It's a great partnership. We can say cheers to on this Earth Day.
Well,
so
we'll see you Saturday, right?
hopefully we'll be celebrating all week long. Yeah, if you want to get involved, we're going to have a link to both their websites on coin.com. You can learn more about all the events that the Watershed Council is working on, as well as all the fun stuff happening at Level Beer. You can also learn more about all of the efforts to help nonprofits across the state at earthdayor.org.